This is the parabolic SAR, the way that you are familiar with. Once you use parabolic SAR, this is the way they will appear, right? So you can see that, for instance, prices were going up, the parabolic SAR was going up, and here it changes, so it took you out, but it took you out of the trade totally prematurely because the trend continues. So what would you do? Well, you click on the settings, right? And then you will see here you have three fields: start, increment, and max value. The acceleration factor will be here, the increment. Okay, so what I would do, in fact, what I do, to be honest, is, but again, you cannot really do what I do because I have my personal way of trading. You will have to find yours. But one of the things that I do is that I reduce the increment by using it 0.005. And the reason why I do that is because I want to stay in the trend for as long as possible. So you can see the difference. Please notice how the parabolic is here, changes here, changes back. Here. Now notice the difference. Huge difference, right? So now the parabolic stayed up, parabolic stayed down, and using these settings you can actually take advantage of the entire trend. So this is a huge advantage. You could use 0.01 and you would have still good settings, but you see here it took you out, right? And the typical default settings is 0.02, and you can see that, well, that way will take you out a lot more often. So one possibility that you have is an easy solution is use trend lines. So how would you do that? For instance, if you put a trend line here, this is just an example, right? Put a trend line here. So basically, while this trend line is being respected, in other words, while this trend line is not being penetrated, it's not broken, we can define the trend here as down, because that's what the trend line is doing, defining the trend as down. So while this is happening, you can ignore these buy signals and only take the sell signals. Again, this would be applicable if you use the parabolic SAR for entries and not only for stops as we suggested, but you can actually use this for entries.